So what are your first impressions? Aaron?
I'll say I've been talking too much, so it should probably be Marty.
Marty!
Dude, how is Hank Pym just absolutely ruling the multiverse?
He really is.
He kind of is.
The world hinges on what Hank Pym feels like that day.
It's not actually, it's not a bunch of other people's decisions. It's just Hank Pym's decisions that create
Hank
all the
Pym's
fucking
world. We're just living in it.
Exactly.
I thought it was very good. Yeah, I thought it was a good one. It wasn't one of the best ones, but
Okay.
I was actually very impressed by the Spider-Man villain. I thought he did a very good job.
Yeah, he did good. If you told me that was Tom Holland, I would have been like, I don't know his voice that well, so sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, there's a point where I was watching, I was like, that's not him.
Oh,
and then I was like,
he's got the raspy
not
shit down.
I think Sebastian Stan proves that just because you are an actor doesn't mean you know how to voice act, because I feel like he has been terrible in each of his cameos.
I agree.
I don't know what direction he's given, but not great, Sebastian. Sorry, I know you're listening.
Put that in there for
like stoic.
Mark Ruffalo is a little weird when it comes to voice acting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
See, their issue with all that stuff though is like because those characters are so well established, like that they're dealing with the whole like, now that we make Thor look like Chris Hemsworth, what the fuck are we gonna do when Thor isn't voiced or acted by Chris Hemsworth? Like, it's a weird thing of like, now that we've made these decisions of like Robert Downey is Tony Stark and looks so much like him, now it's weird when he's not Tony Stark, you know? Like, because I agree, like, they should have, and it would have been better off if they had done like other voice actors and maybe not taken the character like designs straight from like the canon like live action MCU stuff, and went maybe a little more like traditional or changed it up a little bit, and then I feel like it wouldn't be as weird to have the different voices.
Scarlett Johansson, I thought they did that for Spider-Man too. That didn't technically look like Tom Holland.
Yeah, it does a little bit, but even like I felt like Paul Rudd, his sort of Futurama head, and I'm like, that kind of looks like Paul Rudd, but it's also just generic like white guy with dark hair, you know?
Yeah, you're describing Paul Rudd.
No, I know, but I'm just saying like the actual character model. I'm like, I guess it looks like him, you know? Whatever.
It wasn't very ruddy.
I was surprised they got Spider-Man. How is Sony? What's the deal with Sony? How can we get
Sony has the theatrical rights, but Marvel has like all the character, and that's why they can make the games and like do all kinds of other shit. But Sony has like the theater, like movie rights, and they share them with Marvel, which is why that they've been doing the Tom Holland movies still. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a brief moment where they're like, oh shit, they're not going to make Far From Home because Sony has the, like, it was some weird thing of like Sony has the rights, so they're like, they're going to stop making the Spider-Man movies full stop like Marvel is, and Sony will have to make them, you know. It was like a weird thing, and then they ended up working it out, and then we got Far From Home, and then, you know, the multiverse Spidey. But to jump in and just keep fucking droning. I like the episode too. I thought it was a little weird.
Sure.
The zombies, like, were zombies and didn't have like, I don't know, they didn't have the physical like wherewithal to walk normal, but then like Tony like still had the understanding of like using a portal somehow to grab to shoot Ebony Maw in the face with his blast. Like, there were some weird things of like Captain America can't stand up straight, but he can deflect shit with his shield at the same, you know. It was like
what are the rules?
Like, yeah, like they're zombies, but they still kind of have their powers. I don't know. That part was like a little strange to me. But I did like the giving Wasp the spotlight a little bit.
Yeah,
I think cool. The Pym characters like are pretty OP, actually. I feel like the more we watch these, I'm like, oh shit, Ant-Man, and like we were talking about Michael Douglas and all that, like those guys, it seems like those powers are pretty fucking invaluable.
Yeah.
And
How funny was it when
I
he's
also-
just chopping on Iron Man's neck, or who was it?
yeah.
Or Captain
And
America's
again,
neck?
yeah, and shout out to the little Black Order cameo again. I like when they bring those guys in. It was literally the scene from Endgame when they arrive on planet Earth, and then he's like, "Oh, he's like, hear me and rejoice," or whatever. It's fucking Thanos, blah blah blah, and then they get fucking attacked by zombies. But
Yeah,
I always like seeing those guys. I think Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian are cool.
So, I am aware of all the flaws in their rules, but I started to, and maybe it's just me getting in a groove of these what if episodes where I'm like, it doesn't matter, just enjoy the ride. This might be my favorite, and I have no idea why. I can't reflect.
it's because it's probably Tom Holland's comedic timing, dude.
It may be Spider-Man. I do love
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
He was like,
Spider-Man was great.
It's never a good idea to split up. Have you guys watched horror movies? And then at the end, when they're flying away, and he's like, and they're like, "Oh, we're away," and Tom Holland's
I
like,
love
"No,
that
you never say
whole
that."
character trait they gave him in the MCU where he's obsessed with movies.
Mhm.
Where he's
Well,
like,
it's like the
"Have you guys
meta
seen Star Wars?"
self-awareness
And, like,
kind of.
just yeah.
Yeah.
So I really like
It's like the 1880s.
that quirk. Let's hop into the plot and we can talk a little more. So like Aaron said, this is the start of Infinity War. We got Ebony Maw. We got what's the guy's name? Giant piece of coal.
It's Cull Obsidian.
Coal Obsidian.
Or he's like Black Dwarf too, or something. He's got a couple names.
Big boy.
Well, it's because fucking Bruce Banner gets blasted to Earth. Like it's the whole thing of him getting Ragnaroked, not like Ragnarok, but like it's the end of Thor Ragnarok where he gets blasted to Earth, and then he's just like, "Oh shit, I gotta
Our
tell
boy
the Avengers
Idris
Thanos is
Elba's
coming."
like, go to Earth.
Yeah.
Hurry.
Fucking Heimdall.
So Bruce Banner lands on Earth. It's empty. The Black Order shows up, and Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, and Wong are all zombies, and they turn the members of the Black Order into zombies, but the Wasp and Spider-Man save Bruce Banner. So like we're
A little bit of wasps, like bugs eating them all. I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck is happening now? I was like, Jesus Christ. Like all of a sudden they're just getting torn apart by, and again, like it was clearly like a Pym thing, but I'm just like, holy shit. What's
ants
happening?
are immune to being zombies.
Hell yeah.
So Hank Pym's at it again. He goes to save his wife, but his wife became a zombie because quantum physics.
Something. Yeah.
I love that
Time-related
sci-fi
disease.
cop-out in a lot of movies. It's like, what if we just said the word quantum? Would that solve our science problems?
Sure.
Yes.
What's the whole like, oh, it's a disease from outer space, so it can be fucking anything, or whatever, where they're like, oh, it's just whatever we need it to be is what it is.
So we get the Spider-Man instructional video on how to survive for no reason with
Is that Zombieland? That was straight out of Zombieland,
yeah,
right?
it's gotta be
Okay.
with like who's Ant-Man's friend, the Russian guy.
Yeah.
Who's
That was
funny
an
in the
odd
movies.
cameo.
Not really funny in the show, but funny in the movies.
Oh, he was so bad in the show.
Yeah.
I could have done without him.
I was totally like, that dude is just a red shirt. Like he's absolutely going to die. Like I'm like, there's no possible way that all these like other characters die. We see like, the first wave Avengers fucking killed, and then we're like, no, but this dipshit is gonna make it through.
That guy's the plot armor for another character.
Yeah, seriously.
So they get a little communication from another survivor camp. They got to go to the SHIELD base in New Jersey to see if they could save everyone from being zombies. One of the things I always wonder in these zombie films is, you look at them and like there's a hole in their cheek, like worms coming out of their brain. Would the cure just like grow all the skin back? Like, is there
So
some sort of like growth hormone or stem
thought
cell?
about that too. That like so Strange and Wong and Tony Stark attack Black Order and turn them into zombies, and then like instantly they're that totally just like dilapidated, like jaw hanging zombies. I'm like, wait, how did they decompose like a month in 10 seconds as they were turned into zombies? It's like that. Wait, why are they like this again? Because they just became zombies like 5 minutes ago.
So I suspend my disbelief, and we ride a train to Jersey. There's a scene in the Grand
how about
Central
that
Station.
line though? And Happy's just like, and to make things worse, we have to go to Jersey.
Oh yeah,
that's the one joke that didn't land for me.
I'll say that was a little bit of a groaner. I'm just like, oh
Brian.
man, Jersey sucks. Yep,
It's my home country.
Yeah, seriously, Brian. Yeah, Brian took offense. I appreciated that their little home base was actually kind of ingenious. That like Spider-Man had strung up all the subway cars like in the air. Like if you're gonna build a zombie-proof base, like makes sense. Lift it off the fucking ground.
Yeah,
like
suspend
having
yourself
a
in the air.
floating base. Yeah, seems pretty fucking smart.
So we get to the base in Jersey, not without killing Captain America, not without Wasp getting bitten. Stop me if you guys want to comment on anything on the way. So we get there, and Vision's there. And he's like, yeah, I figured out they don't like the Mind Stone very much. And Winter Soldier, or Sebastian Stan, goes running around looking for a transport, and he finds zombie Scarlet Witch. And
you knew that was going to be bad news.
And T'Challa, who I guess he's slowly feeding to Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked up.
That. Why? Why does it have to be T'Challa? Why
also, he could have used anyone, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's why this episode didn't fully hit for me, because I'm like, why are we just doing T'Challa? Like, I think that's what it was in the comics, so maybe that's why.
They're like, he went and got T'Challa to feed the Scarlet Witch.
Oh no, yeah, the Wakandans are the tastiest.
Like, she loves Wakandan cuisine.
Yeah.
Zombie Scarlet Witch wakes up because, I don't know, Sebastian Stan's nearby and she doesn't like him. She breaks out of the holding cell.
I thought that was weird to me too, where he's like, oh, you've awoken her, and she fucking busts out. So I'm like, wait, what was the point of the cell? She could just break out, then you weren't holding her at all.
There's no rules and no continuity.
What? Yeah, that's Brian's favorite.
We're just on a ride. It's
a
zombie movie that doesn't follow their own rules, and I had a good time. So zombie Scarlet Witch fucks them up, as you would assume. Vision decides he has to atone, rips out his Mind Stone, gives it to Peter.
I'm like, what? It's weird that he's like, you're right, I fucked up. And then he rips the fucking thing out. I'm like, oh, just kill yourself, I guess. Like, that'll do it.
Thanks for saving us.
Yeah, my job's done.
Bruce Banner does something similar. I forgot to comment on why we thought Wasp going big to turn into a zombie would be a good idea.
Well, so I was literally watching this with Steph, and she's like, well, you got to go small first. You got to get small quick. Like, again, why would Wasp be like, I'm going to die huge? Because that's totally going to not come back to like bite us. Literally.
Zombie.
Yeah. I saw that, and I'm like, you shrink and become completely insignificant, and then if you're a zombie, no one cares. Like
look at me while I die. Smile at me while I die.
Yeah, that line was strange too.
So we've got who are the survivors? It's just Ant-Man's head. It's Peter Parker.
T'Challa.
And it's T'Challa. One-legged T'Challa.
Yeah. Pretty sad state of affairs there.
and Doctor Strange's cape.
And Doctor Strange's cape. That's right.
Honestly, Doctor Strange's cape, MVP of the episode.
Best character in all of the MCU, in my opinion.
I love is it Korg?
Korg is good.
Yeah, Korg. Oh, but you know that Taika Waititi is overrated and totally sucks ass and is the worst director, writer, producer ever, according to that one controversial Reddit comment. So obviously Korg sucks. I actually appreciated
worse as Wheel of Time.
Exactly. Copied Game of Thrones. No, the
Shamelessly.
cape flying around like Paul Rudd and being sort of his like shoulders in a way, like gave him some like shapeliness to like the head bit. That was actually a really smart way to like incorporate those two. Kind of, I appreciated that.
The emotional quote from T'Challa while they're flying away. In my culture, death is not the end.
I believe in zombies.
We believe in zombies.
Yeah,
So
death is not the end because everyone becomes zombies later.
a little sad.
Yeah.
Knowing Chadwick Boseman's fate.
Yeah,
So
that does suck.
they make it to Wakanda, which still has their shield, and we get a shot of zombie Thanos. Which what's his motivation?
I don't know. It was so
He
confusing.
wants to eat half the universe.
There's
to
not
balance
enough
things
brains
out.
for all the zombies.
Yeah. Zombie Thanos.
He's gonna snap and turn half of the zombies back into humans so they can eat them.
So he can eat them. So this was one thing too, and this is very akin to me to the T'Challa Star-Lord episode. But like once I saw that, I was like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. Like zombie Thanos, like I want to see more. And it was one of those things where like the episode ended, and I'm like, well, that's gonna be it. And it'd be kind of nice to see like
A
little
sequel,
bit
or
of another like 20 minutes of oh shit, zombie Thanos, like what the fuck is gonna happen there, kind of like I wanted more story in the you know the build up to that, and then like the 25 minutes were done and they're like, oh, but wouldn't zombie Thanos be cool to see? And then that was it. Like, oh man, give me that, that's I want to see some some
like a
cliffhanger.
Like I don't even know where that goes.
Well, that's part of the thing is I'm like, they show that and I'm like, cool, let's do any sort of elaboration on that, and there's just not, which is a bummer.
Marvel is so like planned and strategized. Like I have a feeling they're not dangling these threads for no reason.
I hope not.
Probably not.
We'll
We'll get into that with the movie with freaking that thread.
We're not getting the payoff, I think, for another 4 or 5 years. But in Shang-Chi,
they'll keep you around.
So it was a dumb, fun zombie movie for me. 10 out of 10. Boys.
I don't know if I would go 10 out of 10. I definitely liked it. I still think the Doctor Strange one was the most like, it had a solid story. It wasn't too like kind of far-fetched or bullshitty. There wasn't like groan-worthy, like, or as many kind of groan-worthy like jokes or whatever.
Sure.
And that one, like pacing wise, I thought was one of the better ones. So it was like, it was a combination of kind of all of those things. I think that put it a little bit above for me, but this one was definitely one of the better ones that they've done for sure.
Yeah, it was good. I would put it up there. Like it's entertaining. That's all I really care about, though.
Yeah.
Like the first one wasn't
that's fair.
that good in my opinion. So as long as they're making him entertaining, I'll watch it because it's not like I don't think they're trying to necessarily hit the home run. They're just trying to make an entertaining show. So,
What If is here for a good time, not a long time.